Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got a lot of news today. FOMC yesterday. What's the summary? What did Jerome Powell actually say? Bitcoin sitting at a critical level. If it breaks this level, we could be seeing some more downside coming. But if it holds here, still feeling quite bullish on it. We're going to be taking a look at that. We're also going to be taking a look at are you being played by BlackRock? Because it is very possible, based on some information that another YouTuber released, a little analysis there, that they might be buying up all of your Bitcoin you sold recently. So if you've sold, BlackRock's your buyer. We're going to be looking at that and a whole lot more today. We've got a lot of news. We're going to be doing a lot of TA, and I'm going to be doing this with my partner today in crime, TradeFly OC out. We got all that and a whole lot more today on Piper Academy. Classes in session. Guys, welcome to Piper Academy. This is the show where we bring you the news, the charts, the markets, everything you need to know about everything, because knowledge is profit. So yeah, we're going to be looking at a lot today. When I say everything, I mean everything, guys. We're looking at all of it. If you guys are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live here on the show. We come at you all the time doing this every day. We also do some static videos, got a lot more coming. The content is going to be growing here. The channel is going to be growing. The team is going to be growing. We are trying to do everything we can to give you guys quality content that you deserve, because you are the alumni, and we thank you for being here every day. Shout out to everybody in the chat this morning. But without any further ado, let's get my partner in crime up here. TradeFly, what's up, my man?
What is going on? It's your favorite financial advisor in a backwards hat. Just kidding, not a financial advisor, but I don't have any Mexican spaghetti for you guys, but I am Irish, so I do put Bailey's in my legendary aviation coffee. So there's that show for the morning.
Speaking of legendary aviation coffee, I am drinking, what is this one? I just finished the bag this morning. Hold on, let me look here. I got this, finished the bag, and I've been drinking on this. Let me find it before I spill my coffee here.
You do the looks, do some shout outs in the chat.
I gotta order some more. Here it is. I gotta order some more of this. This stuff is delicious. Hold on. I don't know if you tried this one or not yet, man. It's this is the El Salvador.
Ooh.
It is so good. It's got like this I don't know, it's almost got like a dark chocolate undertone to it, but it's no chocolate in it at all. These aren't flavored coffees.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's just a natural oil or something in the coffee bean. It's really freaking good. So you just reminded me of that when you were talking about putting stuff in your coffee. That's what I'm drinking, the last of it today. So I'm very sad. No more El Salvador for me today. I'm gonna try to fix your hat. You look a little faded, man. You're faded. There we go. That's better. You were faded. You were faded, bro.
I didn't do my hair like OC guy. Sorry. My
bad. I know. Well, you're not OC because you have internet.
Hey, man. He's going to be Starlink here soon.
Yeah, I know. He's getting the Starlink. Guys, just so you're tracking, they were supposed to put it in his house yesterday. They called him and said, it'll be 7 days before we can get it there, because that is the way in Mexico. You know, it's, hey, if you're lucky, we will be there when we tell you. And then, so he had to drive. He had to get on a ferry boat to leave the island to go to mainland, and then drive all the way to where they were holding the Starlink system at. So, yeah, he had to go drive. He was putting it together last night, I hope. And he will try to be live by next Monday. That's the goal. So,
right on. Let's give some shout outs in the chat. See who we got in here. Nah, yeah, I don't see him in the chat. But Mr. J, man, first of the line every day. Let's say what's up. Ninja Glock, we got ZTS, your boy, Alexandra G.
I had to hit that like button on my own stream, you know.
There you go. Yeah, that's the first thing I do. Alex O, my twinsy, what's up, brother? Crux.
Alex O, crypto.
He's always doing that work in the background there, Crux. Let's see, Eric Wallen, Clarence Slade. Who else we got? Dusty Hunt. And French Toast.
Alexandra G, the most boss mod in the industry, right there, Alexandra G.
There you go. Trade intuition.
Not that I don't love the rest of my mods, but Alexandra G has been slaying it on every channel I go to. I drop in, I'm like, hey, and all of a sudden it's like Link.
There it is. Justin Eubanks, Elo Brown. What's up, brother? T Shrooms in the house. What's up? What's up?
Ah, my man
And
T-Shroom. Love
Christian
seeing
Mayer.
T-Shroom.
He loves our show, by the way. He tells us
He
every
does.
day.
Well, he is a loyalist to all things OC guys. So whether it be Chart Prime, whether it
Oh,
be the channel,
that's the connection.
it is.
Got it. Got it.
So, all right, guys, we got a lot of news. Trade Fly, we're going to be talking about some of this stuff. We're going to have to cut the show a little bit short today because I have a meeting right normally when the show would end. So at my time, East Coast time, I guess we'll go on. It's normally 9:30. We start 10:30. We're done. Well, at 10:30, I have a very important meeting with someone that I'm going to be doing some stuff with. They may or may not have well over 500,000 subscribers. So pretty big deal. So
Army's going big time, man. He's big timing us now.
No, never. I will tell you, I am not this guy that has to quit doing live streams because it cost me $25,000 a day to do a live show. That's not us at all. We are the guys that a bunch of us came together. We put together a little bit of quality work, and it cost us nothing but our time and energy and brain power every day. That's it. So Trade Fly,
I see where your money at.
Has it cost you anything to go live? And just checking. So
no, I've told you a few times. This setup is in my closet, so I am away from everyone in the house. But we know where your money's at. It's all behind your big, beautiful head right there.
But even this studio wasn't overly expensive. I already had the equipment because I was doing stuff with Chart Prime. So
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, no, it does not cost us $25,000. I will tell you what he said it was costing him per day. If you don't know, if you're not tracking. He's ending his live stream because he said it cost him $25,000 a day, and he hardly gets any likes on his live stream videos.
Imagine
so he announced
that
he's stopping his daily live crypto show, and then the crypto influencer claimed that lawyers and almost everyone he knows are coming after him, and that he's got $100,000 a month in legal bills. On top of that, it's $25,000 a week to produce his show. My bad. So what it cost him for 1 week to operate his show is more than I have involved in this entire build of Piper Academy. So, and I think our quality is pretty darn good. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the news, the real news, because this is garbage. Let's go over here and take a look, guys. Crypto bubbles. 1 hour chart here looking. You can see we're getting some green on here. If we go ahead and take a look over here at the market cap daily, you can see on this, everything's still a little bit red from the sell-off yesterday. But if we go to the hour, we're getting a little bit of a move up here. Why are we getting this move up here? Well, it's because of data that just came out this morning on the economic calendar, which give me a second, I'll get there. Looking here at the liquidation chart for the past 24 hours, 60,329 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $174.7 million. Largest single liquidation on Binance, bro. Bitcoin, $10 million liquidation. Let's go. So he was a whole lot of exit liquidity for people that went the right direction. I'm just going to put that out there. Economic calendar, guys, we were just talking about this. Here's what happened. This morning, we had initial jobless claims. I talk about this. It's a weekly thing that comes out. This is your people filing for unemployment, okay? It's not exactly unemployment numbers, but it is people filing weekly for, hey, I've lost my job, right? I need to claim this. I told you guys, when these numbers are bad, it's good for markets. When they're good, it's bad for markets. It was bad. The consensus was 212,000, forecast to be 218,000. Actually came in at 224,000, well above the forecast, well above the consensus, well above its previous week. Non-farm productivity up to 3.2%, a little bit higher than what they had forecasted on there, but lower than previous. So, slowing down on that level of output from employment. And unit labor cost was down 1.1%. They thought it was going to be up 1.6 to 2%, not up that much. So labor costs kind of staying in line and doing its thing. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to get those non-farm payrolls, finding out if wage growth is happening, and then unemployment rate. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out. Don't take this the wrong way. Nobody, don't send me hate messages in the comments. I am kind of hoping to see a 3.8%. And I know that's bad. It seems very insensitive, but that 3.8% is a market mover. And right now, I think that people could use a little bit of hopium in the markets, unless you're one of those people that is in that 0.1% of the unemployment. So right now, we need to see. There's another reason. It's not just markets. We need to see this unemployment rate get a little bump, because that is going to scare the Federal Reserve. So far, the labor force has been showing strength, which means that they really don't have to tighten up the reins at all. They can do what they want. I think if we see this unemployment rate come in, we're going to see a little change on the stance of Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve on what they're looking at for rate cuts. Speaking of rate cuts, let's jump into that. Looking here on rate cuts, guys, we're looking at March right now. If you take a look at March, we're only looking at a 37% chance of a rate cut, 62.5% of no change. I am thinking that we're not going to see it in May. I don't think that's what's going to happen there. If we take a look at that, it's 93.8%. I think we're going to see this drop down unless we see those unemployment numbers start to move up. I think we're going to see it in June or July. If we take a look at June here, June is looking like a 100%, sorry about that, 100% chance of a rate cut coming in June now. And as a matter of fact, guys, kind of scary here. If you look at what this has here, they're actually like 38.2% chance that they're like cutting 50 basis points here. So a 0.5% instead of a quarter
No
and a
way.
quarter, a
Yeah, no
full
way.
50. Yeah, I don't think that's true either, but
Because
that's what they're
Papa Powell's
looking
whole
at.
approach this whole time has been incremental changes to not
Exactly,
have
exactly. That
so
would be a
there's no way.
massive
These
rush
people are
there.
high. Who's making this?
What are they smoking, man?
Yeah. Unreal.
Let's get into here. Let's take a look at this, guys. This is Deutsche Bank. You guys have seen a lot of news this week on job cuts, layoffs, stuff like that. UPS just had a massive one. There was another one from another bank. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Let me know in the chat if you know. Unless you know. Do you know? Do you know TradeFi? There was another bank that just had a big layoff. Oh yeah, it was the one that took they bought the other bank and they had earnings reports and they were down a lot and they just did job layoffs up in New York or something like that. Delaware.
Yeah, it wasn't New York. Wasn't Citizens.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'll look it
regardless,
up.
I digress.
Bancorp. Huh?
Banks in trouble. That's the bottom
Bancorp.
line. That's the moral of this story is the wheel of morality. Turn. If anybody knows what that's from, let me know in the chat. Just in, Deutsche Bank, DB, cut 3,500 jobs in an effort to reduce cost. This comes after the bank reported a 30% drop in Q4 profits. Banks are getting in trouble again. And you guys remember what happened the last time banks were getting in trouble? Bitcoin rallied on that news. So just something to put out there. I wanted you to be aware of. That is what we have there on X marks the spot. And then also, if you guys sold any of your Bitcoin, I talked about this. BlackRock has accumulated 9,571 Bitcoin, over $400 million worth in the past 48 hours. So if you sold Bitcoin recently, you probably sold it to BlackRock. They are taking your Bitcoin, guys. Whether you know it or not, that is happening. They are the ones buying that stuff. And then lastly here, before I get into the breakdown on the FOMC, I wanted to show you guys this. This is from Invest Answers. James from Invest Answers, a YouTuber, if you don't know him. He puts out some interesting stuff. Sometimes I don't always agree with them, but this was pretty interesting. Spot ETF manipulation. A Bitcoin spot ETF could be managed in a way where the fund managers sell ETF shares based on the Bitcoin price during the stock market open hours, and then spot buy back the Bitcoin at night when the price falls. This strategy could potentially allow the ETF to profit from daily spreads of around 3%. I have no concrete evidence to confirm this, this strategy is being employed, but it's worth noting that the T+1, T+2 over-the-counter trading terms refer to the settlement periods for trades. And so if you look here, he's got the sell ETF to retail, right? It's pumping up. They all buy it. And then it pulls back. You go into a weekend. They buy their spot Bitcoin there. It goes in, stock market pumps back up. They sell it all to retail in the FOMO stage. They buy back, they sell, they buy back. This could be what's going on with price action, which means that they're just scraping 3%. When you're talking 3% of $1 billion, 3% of $1 million, guys, is $30,000, and we're talking 400 million. So, do the math. 30,000 times 400, a lot of money that they could just be scraping at 3% every day. So, smart money is playing it really, really smart if this is what is going on. So, I just wanted to bring that up and talk about it. And then let's get into the last thing here. This is going to be the summary from yesterday, guys. Let's get over here. Come here, sir. Thank you. Summary of the Powell press conference from yesterday. Reducing rates too fast could reverse inflation progress. This is from the KBC letter. He did a great breakdown on this. So that 50%, that 50 basis points that we just saw there, 0.5%. Don't think that's what the case is going to be. Sorry, I had to move my chair back a little bit there. Don't think that's what we're going to see. I mean, even Jerome Powell said moving it too fast could reverse inflation progress. It caused inflation to pump up, get everybody super bullish on spending money. Reducing rates too late, though, could weaken the economy. Prepared to maintain higher rates if needed, which I don't think it's going to be rate increases. That just means maintaining. That doesn't say increasing. So we might be at this one for quite a while. June, that'd be over 6 months at this rate, plus what we had in the previous year. And then policy rate is likely already at its peak. There again, what I just said. Labor markets continue to look very strong. That is where that unemployment number starting to shift comes in. We've already had a 0.1% change on it. If we saw another one, they would have to start relooking at that stance of that it looks very strong, especially as we're seeing layoffs in 2024. I think we're going to see layoffs throughout a lot of this year as people are restructuring, reorganizing, and reprioritizing their sectors. And then activity in the housing sector has subdued. That is true. Housing prices are dropping. Austin, Texas, down 16% for the year over year on its rates, which dramatically, it was like in the top 10 of dropping rates on homes. So that's what we have there. And then lastly, Powell has taken a very middle of the road approach. He did not really seem hawkish or dovish yesterday. He had some hawkish comments. He had some dovish comments, but overall did not really take a stance on either side of that fence. So let's jump over here. Bitcoin pump. This is for my mining people out there, my crypto Bitcoin mining people in the audience right now. Bitcoin pump prompts emergency review of U.S. crypto miner energy use. So this is what it says here. Just get to the bottom line. United States Department of Energy demanding crypto miners report their energy consumption for the next 6 months after concerns about a recent increase in the price of Bitcoin, which is leading to a rush of crypto mining. On January 31st, the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the EIEIO, the statistics agency of the DOE, said in initiating a provisional survey to gauge the electricity usage of local crypto mining companies starting next week. The miners required to respond with details related to their energy use. So, yeah, more FUD there. FUD on our beautiful mining friends over here. And what I'm really wondering is I know in the difficulty, and maybe if anybody in the chat knows this, they can let me know. But the difficulty level, from what I understand, is a higher level of calculation, takes longer, so on and so forth. So after this halving event, would that make the, obviously it's not going to be a double on energy usage. There's a certain amount of energy use in the process of mining that is going to be consistent, right? Like the system running itself, the fan running, that has a set energy usage level. It's the time versus energy, right? So after the halving, is it going to cost even more energy? That's what I want to know. If anybody knows in the chat, let me know. We got some really smart people in the alumni.
They have gotten really, really crafty with some of the energy usage, though. Like some of them now are actually using like the expended gases and energy that are coming off of oil mining. Like there's all kinds of like green initiatives
I'm tracking
like,
that.
Yeah, so like, we'll see. We'll see, man. I think by the time it's all said and done, we're going to have some like super smart casts that come up with some really genius ways to kind of offset the actual energy use. And I think New York has already taken a step towards that. If I remember correctly, a year and a half or 2 years ago, they introduced some bills out there and people got crafty really quick on how they were going to continue mining.
Well, I'd like to
So
know. I'd like to know if they're doing this with banks. Like, are you grabbing Bank of America and saying we need you to report your energy usage every 6 months for all of your ATMs and all of your brick and mortar and all of your employees over the next 6 months so that we can see an energy usage report? Because I don't know if
that's
you
bananas.
noticed or not, but those banks letting people go and costing people money. So I don't know. I think that if you're going to
Hey,
do this with Bitcoin, why don't you take a look at your banking sector and see how much energy they use and waste every
no,
single day. So
absolutely. And I
yeah,
think people have done studies on that already and
they
done an
have.
analysis, but
That's where
those
I
get
got that
thrown under
info
the
from.
rug. Yeah, they get thrown under. Man, there's a lot of going on in the chat right now about Ben. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of take here. I had who was it in there that was saying they taught him crypto, and so he's always got a soft spot for him. And you know what, dude, I respect that. And like, there's gonna be people in the space that you'll have a soft spot for. Uh, like I said, Piper will always be one of those guys for me. He gave me a chance to come on the show, and I'm truly appreciative of that. So no matter what he does, I'll probably always have his back. But that being said, like with Ben in his case, dude, like I don't like being lied to. And so for me personally, I if I don't trust you, it's hard for me to have a soft spot for you, to be honest. And it's just been a continuation. So I know he has some issues going on, and he's got to work through those. And personal opinion, I hope he works through them. I really do. Like, he was a
Absolutely.
big influential person in this space, and so I would like to see him get back on the right track, and really take that
Get back
initiative.
get back to uh get back to crypto and education and not
Yeah,
so much drama and trauma. Yeah, I would
yeah,
love that too.
absolutely,
Um,
man. Because
he was
like
one
he
of the
was,
first people I ever watched. I watched all of 2020. I was watching Ben Armstrong, learning about crypto. So, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, um,
So
I
hope he
think,
works through it.
I think right now he just needs to get his brain back into the realm where it was when he was, the hero and the face of crypto. So,
Yeah,
yeah. But anyway, enough on that. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, no, one way or the other, no
yeah,
judgment. I interesting that he was saying it cost him $25,000 a week to run a
yeah.
live stream. That's astronomical price. So,
He's probably got
um,
a payroll too, I would imagine.
he does. He does. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, in this video, I watched his video. He said that he didn't even have J chains there for the day because he didn't really have a job for him anymore. So, um,
it's
but
unfortunate.
yeah. Let's get into this story here. ETH staking, self staking is key to the atomic generational wealth, according to an Ethereum dev. Guys, this is how we do critical reading here. You ready? This is a story about ETH, and this thing could be awesome for ETH, written by an Ethereum developer who's gets benefit from people buying ETH. But anyway, still a good article, so I want to go over it.
Of
Solo
note.
Ether staking from home could cost upward of $70,000, but could help make Ethereum more valuable in the long run. Staking ETH from home should be the gold standard for staking, and families should see it as a tool to create atomic generational wealth. Notes an Ethereum core developer. Setting up a home validator could mean that your family operates that validator and secures the network for longer than 100 years. Core developer and founding member of ETH Staker community. So even more, he's part of the ETH Staker community too. In an interview with Cointelegraph, he said that the centralization concern prompted several validators to switch clients. He argued that while third-party staking solutions offer a lower barrier to entry than Solar staking, which cost about 32 ETH, $73,000 to set up your own validation node, uh, these seek to custody funds under centralized control when you're going through that third party, like if you're staking on Coinbase, so on and so forth. He's saying that setting these up in your home, if you're able to invest until you have that enough, obviously 73 Ethereum, a lot of money, wasn't a huge amount when it was down at $1,075, but hey, um, it would have been a lot cheaper back then. But he said that having this in your home is a way that he sees is going to be generational wealth. So if you imagine you had enough to get all of those Ether, 32 Ether, and then you put that validation node in your home, how it could just continually make money for the next 100 years for your family. So he's got a valid point. I just don't think he's got a realistic understanding of what the average household has in available funds. So And then lastly, this is a big story today, guys. Visa enabling crypto withdrawals on debit cards for 145 countries. MetaMask users can now sell crypto directly to a Visa card, which eliminates the need to use centralized exchanges. Global payment giant Visa doubling down on cryptocurrency adoption by enabling another method of exchanging crypto to fiat without using a centralized exchange. They partnered with Web3 infrastructure provider Transact to introduce cryptocurrency withdrawals and payments. So how does this thing work? By enabling real-time card withdrawals through Visa Direct, Transact is delivering a faster, simpler, more connected experience, making it easier to convert crypto balances over to fiat. So this is pretty interesting, in my opinion. The 145 countries will be able to directly convert to at least 40 different cryptocurrencies, 40 cryptocurrencies into fiat, I should say. Jurisdictions: Cyprus, Malta, Singapore, Turkey, Portugal, UAE. Not seeing a pretty important country on this list of 145 countries. Um, I wonder what that country could be there. In that this adoption, this institutional financial system adoption here. I'm wondering who that country is that's not on that list there, Tradefly. I think I missed. Think I missed something in maybe, I don't know, United States.
Well, I was about to say home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
Yeah. Imagine that, late to the party. Weird.
Late to the party. You said you had an article today also, and it's one that kind of hits home with Crux of Crypto.
Yes, sir, I do. So super quick, Celsius actually came out of bankruptcy, and that actually happened yesterday on the 31st. So I don't think they've actually announced how they're going to distribute all that funds, but there's $3 billion worth of cryptocurrency for what it's worth. There's obviously going to be a priority there. They're going to pay their investors back first. And anybody that was largely invested in the company. So that'll trickle down, but it will make its way back to the user at some point. But again, they haven't announced how that's actually going to be paid out. So be on the alert for that. That is good news. Ultimately, I know. Wait for this. There's going to be FUD. People are going to be like, "Oh, Celsius is putting all that, the fiat and not the fiat doesn't matter, but if they pay back in kind crypto, then they're going to say there's going to be a sell off." So wait for that FUD. I guarantee you it's going to happen. But good news, Celsius is going to start paying people back. So
yeah. So according to Crux, if I'm reading this right, just real fast, it looks like it's like 30% they're getting back. It's not that great.
that's how Voyager
He
was. It
said
sucked.
when in early 2021, his Ethereum that he had in Celsius was well over 100K, and it looks like he's only going to get $25,000 back. So he said, I really need this crypto year to pop off so I can write off $75,000 plus in losses. So shout out to Crux there. That is no bueno. Let's get into the charts here.
Yeah.
Looking at Bitcoin here, guys. Hold on. I'm going to kick it over to you. I got to read this message that I just got. I'm going to kick it over to you to lead. We'll go to Bitcoin. You guys can see right there, though. We are sitting at critical support. Like I said, we're going to talk about that. Tradefly, over to you.
Right on. So one of the things that I've been looking at on Bitcoin is actually a little bit more zoomed out, and it's on the daily. So, I like my channels. I like kind of horizontal levels of support, and any trend lines are kind of my things that I look for, as well as the Fibonacci's. Love those. But one of the channels I'm looking at right now is this one right here. And this one goes back all the way till June. All right. So comes back, and then you can see we had our low here, and that was the later part of 22 into the early part of 23, right? That's kind of when we started entering into this uptrend. So right now we're still in that, and we've been in that for a long time. If you guys watched that video that we just posted when we were doing our price predictions, I kind of talked about this as well, but you can see it's been support, it's been resistance, and this median here actually has been holding up right now. And we did come back down and test that median as well. And it actually aligned up with the chart prime, the dynamic reactor. We found that as support, as well as the 100-day moving average. So all things to kind of keep an eye on. I have been seeing some price action here. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit on the daily. And so you can see a couple levels that I have been keeping an eye on. One of them really is about 41,700, and that is in conjunction with this moving average here, which is the looks like the 20-day. I really need to work on those colors. And let's see. So yeah, we're finding support there. I think that that might kind of line up with what Piper is going to talk about here in a minute as well. but it's an
Yes,
area
sir.
that I'd be keeping an eye on right now for support. If we fall through that, then obviously there's a good likelihood that we could come back down. But I'm going to keep my eye on this median area that really lines up with the dynamic reactor. If we do happen to fall down, that's kind of an area I'll be watching. Unfortunately, if we do that, this is going to kind of give me
You do.
confirmation as well that we could be starting a downtrend, because now you're starting to look at a set of lower highs. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, this is on the daily. I'm a bigger fan of that. Come down to the reactors here real quick, or the MVP oscillator. You can see that it is going up and right, but it is starting to flatten out right here. So could be losing a little bit of weakness. RSI or the prime oscillator is really still going up and right as well, but it does look like it wants to kind of level out. So maybe we find a little consolidation here at this area of support, and then we'll wait for some continuation of the upside. So high side, I would be keeping an eye on 45.3 at the high side, and that's only just coming back here and looking at some areas of resistance as well as support. And so
Yeah,
that I
I
would
got
say is in play. Yeah.
I got some
Pass it
levels.
over to you, man.
Yeah, I got some interesting levels similar to that also. It's the 50-day moving average that I have here that we've been getting this nice support bounce on. Held it all the way from, this is where we went down to yesterday after the FOMC, and we held it throughout the entire night. We also have this long running trend line still coming up right now also, and we're getting the move to the upside today. You can start to see on the 4-hour here that we are getting this rounding here, but I'm looking at about 44,540. The reason I had said if we don't hold this current level that we were at, that we could be looking at downside is because I don't know that the 786 would hold. I think we would be coming back down to that $39,800 range if we did not hold this. Right now, though, looks like we're getting that move up off of that job numbers that came out this morning. So we'll see. We'll see how that happens. Let's go ahead and check out Chainlink. We had a request for that. And here, let me do this the right way. If we're going to do Chainlink, got to do it the right way. Let's get on the Chainlink
There it
hat.
is.
There it
Let's
is.
go.
Let's go. Chainlink, guys. Pushing up. Look. I just keep telling you guys this stuff. This is how we trade this. Look here. Let's go here and let's turn off the fibs just so you can see it real fast. There's that trade range I talked about. I told you guys it's in that ranging mode. Just trade the tops and trades the bottoms. Trades them, it does. We're right now sitting at the top of that level again. So we'll see if it can break through here. Remember, we've had a couple of fake outs previously before here, and then it came back in. But as of right now, pushing on that top trade band, getting that bounce off the off the 100-day exponential moving average. And then if we turn on the chart prime indicators, you'll see coming in right there at the bottom of that was a auto printed trend line from Chart Prime. Shout out to them. Number one indicator in the service market. I'm telling you, there's other ones out there that are bigger, but I guarantee you they are not better. So if you take a look at what's pumping up here, hitting this line, if we do get a break above this, I'm going to be watching for it to come all the way up to the trend line at about $19.88 there. I know that's a big pump, but when Chainlink moves, it moves, guys. The last time it came out of its ranging motion was down here. It was in this area for a long time of consolidation down there in that trade range. It's 2 yellow lines, and then pumped up a massive, let's look here, from this run right here up to the top of this was a 126% move. So saying that it's going to come up to $19.88 off of this run, that's only about 20%. Not that far, not that crazy. If you saw this morning on Investing Bros, Tim put out a video for members over there in the Investing Bros, and he talked about XRP selling off, not carrying so much XRP on his portfolio because Chainlink is replacing XRP in the world of being a banking token. If you guys don't know what Chainlink does, it's an oracle. So it takes Web 2 data, puts it into Web 3. And Web 2 data is things like current currency prices, right? They're using Chainlink to take that Web 2 info, real-time data of like currency exchange prices and putting it into the Web 3 world for quicker, faster, cheaper exchanges of money. So Chainlink, very bullish on it. Let's get it. Let's go. It is about 8:05 right now, my time. We got about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna kick it over to you, TradeFly. Let's get a couple of more of these TAs done. Let's do it.
Right on. So there was a request earlier for AVAX. There was also near, if you didn't see that one. So I don't know if you want to pull that up in the background. Looking at AVAX here on the daily, we did come down and test the 100-day moving average. It fell just through the 0.5. Obviously, these always aren't set in stone, but you see that we didn't actually get a close underneath of the 0.5. So it really did hold up as support, and that was in vicinity of, we'll call it $30. All right, so we found support there. It did get a bounce, and then it came up to this area that I had actually had marked previously. And the reason I had that marked is because I was looking at where could we find a support area. I don't always just use the Fibonacci retracement tool. I like to find, where I see touch points, and that'll go back. If you scroll left on the chart, you're actually going to see some more support and resistance there. So I had that, and sure enough, we got that bounce. And when we came back down, after we found resistance on the 50-day moving average, now we're finding support here in that area. So we'll see if that actually holds up. I'm going to keep an eye on that, but that would potentially be an area of interest for me. And looking at the indicators on the daily, it does look like they are kind of a similar look as Bitcoin on the daily as well. It looks like they're kind of losing a little bit of steam, but what you would like to see is those indicators reset and then continue that trend up and right. So you're kind of looking for a reset here. You'll see it bend down and then bend back up. And then I would usually draw kind of a line to kind of show me, hey, I'm seeing some strength in these indicators and that we could see some continuation to the upside. So I'm going to go to the 4-hour just to see if we got like multiple touch points in this area. Sometimes I like to see that. So right here, you see a touch. Right here, you see a touch. That's actually, if I was looking at on the 4-hour, not exactly what I would be looking for, to be honest with you. But right here, looking at the MVP oscillator, you do see a bottoming indication. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, you're going to have the Fibonacci retracement up as well. You can see there are two important levels, but really you're looking at the 0.236 at about 40 and the 0.5 here at about $29, $30. So we're kind of looks like we're consolidating in this area, to be honest with you. So maybe those are some areas of interest. This 200-day on the 4-hour is obviously acting as resistance as well. So we're kind of in a little bit of a zone here, and you can see all the moving averages are starting to line up as well. So I would really be looking for this to really reset, and it looks like the RSI already is as well, at least on the 4-hour, and you got oversold. So it's I think this one's going to be contingent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin makes a move up and right, I think you could see AVAX break out a little bit and actually make a move up to, at minimum, about $40.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I wanted to bring this up here. Um, I'd love to see AVAX do that, by the way. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's bring this up here, guys. This is Jupiter on MEXC. I pulled up all the charts. There's not a whole lot of history here, but you can see they all tell the same story. Big, massive release, and then just complete collapse. So if you guys were watching yesterday, and I said, wait for it to come down and settle. I don't know that it's done settling, but we are getting close to those ranges right now that you could consider DCA if you were so inclined after doing your own research. But yeah, I think Jupiter, people that were trying to catch this pump, if you didn't get the airdrop, you weren't going to get this. So, and then
Yep.
of course, all those people that got the airdrop, as soon as it hit those exchanges and pumped up, they sold, took their profit, and down it came. So that's why I was telling you guys yesterday, be very careful with Jupiter there. I am going to go take a look here at Caspa. Let's go Caspa. Caspa coming up right now on its 100 day moving average right now. Let's take a look and see what we're seeing here on the indicators. We are below the dynamic reactor, but we did get down here. We did get this divergence down here, this multiple divergence. That's why it's blue. And then we got a peak seeker that says, hey, we might be near the bottom. And then we also got the uptrend. We were in that 30% line running flat in the green. And then all of a sudden, right here, we pulled back yesterday from the FOMC, and then it started pushing up. Right now, I'm watching for that resistance level at about 10 cents. Nice psychological number. Plus, it's that 100-day moving average. But if we can get back above that, I'm looking for it to come back up to this trend line up here, which would be about 10.7 cents. So right now, looking like a good DCA, looking like a decent trade setup if you are so inclined, if it is able to get above there. But if it gets rejected on this level, be watching for it to come back down to this phase 4 618 golden pocket here. Previous support and resistance on this area. It's been playing here a lot. If I go back, you can see there also. So that's what I'll be watching for, and that's coming in at about 9.6 cents. So that's what I got for that trade fly. Back to you, man.
Right on. Yeah, so looking at near, got that pulled up. Let's go and look at that on the daily here. So it really
You're
looks
looking at
kind of
it near
similar.
or far?
Yeah, yeah, near. Oh, what's going on here? All right, so looking at near, looks pretty similar, honestly, but we did find some support on the dynamic reactor here on the daily. It did come up and test these moving averages. So the 20 and the 50-day, looks like it actually tested the 50-day moving average, and that's where it actually saw its rejection, and then it came down, and now the 20-day is acting as resistance as well. So looking at that, very similar, right? If you come down, you look at the indicators, same thing, kind of flattening out on the MVP oscillator. That's kind of loosely correlates to the MACD. And then your prime oscillator, this one is actually showing a little bit more of an aggressive flattening out on the prime oscillator. So other one looked like it was losing a little strength here. This one is really starting to flatten out. Let's go to the 4-hour and see if we can make some short-term predictions out of this. I don't like seeing it on the bottom side of all the moving averages. Not usually the best look there. But again, same thing. So on the 4-hour, you're seeing that bottoming indication on the MVP oscillator, and then you'll see that RSI kind of weakening as well on the 4-hour. So right here, this is showing you divergence, right? Price action going up, RSI going down, showing you divergence. So that would have potentially been a nice setup, especially when you see it line up with the 200-day, or not the 200, but the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour. So let's be clear about that. But that kind of lined up, right? You see MVP oscillator, divergence, hitting a moving average, potential for a rejection there. So that could have been a nice play. Wish we would have looked at that maybe a few days ago. Could have been something to keep an eye on. But here nor there, it did get a rejection, and it looks like it wants to trend down a little bit, to be honest. Even though we have this, I would expect probably for it to come down here. Let me draw a line for you, just a horizontal line. So you got something. All right. So I would be looking at that. That's where I would be looking, because right now in the middle, not where I would enter. So if it comes down and retests this area of horizontal support at about 2.47 or so, I'd probably bump it up to about 2.5. That's where I'm keeping an eye on that, right? You want to see RSI starting to come up. You want to see MVP oscillator starting to come up, and you want to see that touch point. So I like multiple touch points on a horizontal level of support for me personally. So set an alert. I would set an alert probably at about 2.6. And if it does come down here, that's an area that I would keep an eye on for a potential long entry.
Awesome. Yeah, real fast here, because we got to wrap it up. We do have Ethereum breaking above its 618 at 2301 right now. We are hitting that 50-day exponential moving average right now, but if it is able to hold the 4-hour candle and retest on this golden pocket, I could see Ethereum coming up to hit that 2397, 2400 up there at the 0.66. So that's what that's what I'd be watching there. Oscillator looking like we're getting some push up past that zero line, and the RSI getting nice green strong candles there in the Heikinashi. So that's what I got for that. Guys, got to get over to this meeting that I got to go to. And then also today at 1:30, 1:30, I believe. Yeah, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on Trade Wars. Got to go face off in the redemption round 1v1 versus Crypto Face. So I'll be watching for that over there. I'll be dropping a link on X later today. TradeFly, you got anything for the people, brother?
Hey, not a whole lot. As always, we really appreciate you guys in the chat. Thanks for getting us over 780, I think it was, when we started the show today. So let's see how that bumps up. Hoping to get to 800. And I got one thing for you guys in the chat. All right, you and this crazy little fly that you guys put in there. I'm actually a pilot. So this is the name for fly. I just want to let you guys know. So just a little tidbit of info. I hate that. I hate that fly. Just a little bit.
But
that's
the
the worst
people love
emoji
you, and
ever.
that's what matters. The fact that they had the energy and the desire to call you out with an emoji is
it's a
nothing but love.
disgusting little creature.
It's okay.
Ugh.
All right, guys, we appreciate you guys joining us here. TradeFly, you good with the people? You good?
Oh, I'm good. But Dave, I'm coming after you, bro. Let me see you in Nashville. Coming after you.
Get him, TradeFly. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. Sorry for the short show today. Business today. Super busy, and I hope to see you guys over there on Trade Wars later on today. Come show some support and love over there. It's going to be a difficult challenge because I am not a scalp trader, and I got to go against Crypto Face. So, Love to see some support over there. If you guys haven't checked out the Bitcoin 2025 prediction video yet, check it out. It's down below in all of the videos that we have. Just click videos. You'll see it there. Check that out. Share it with a friend. And we appreciate you guys joining us here. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!